This is Pro Series Off Topic.
Welcome back to Off Topic. This is episode 55. Today's main topic is all about social media and posting and the mindset that goes around social media and posting and getting down on yourself if engagement or likes or something does not go the way you like it. This conversation started with a conversation that I had with the guest that I recorded this week in person for a Pro Series episode that will be coming out later in the week. But it also started with the quote that I posted on Motivational Monday. And if you have not followed me on social media, go follow me at Eric Dillman Designs. I usually post every Monday about a quote that I like. And this week was, don't sweat over likes or views. Keep putting yourself out there and promoting yourself. Trust me, the right eyes are always watching. I think sometimes when we create a business or create a social media account to correspond with that business, we think, who's gonna follow me? Why me? Why is my account gonna be something that they're gonna like? Why would they follow me? Why would they want to like it? And then we create it and then we post and we get one or two likes and we get down on ourselves that only two people saw it or just one person saw it or maybe no one saw it because you got zero likes. And that is not the case. I think there's a lot of people that talk about their social media etiquette, and a lot of people just don't like posts that often or comment. It's just who they are. They just don't like to post. They don't like to comment, and that's totally fine. And that's you can't you can't get into your head and think, well, if they're not posting, they're not liking my post, or they think my business stupid, or it's easy. It's human to think that way, but it is not the case ever. You need to think there is someone out there that is looking at your post, that it is resonating with, that it feels like home to them, that they are following you for a reason, they're liking you for a reason. Sometimes it's harder to see because they're a little bit quieter, they're maybe introverted and they don't reach out. But you never know who's actually watching. Just keep posting. I know it gets very, 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 very discouraging when you post something and you get zero likes, or you spend hours and hours on a post and you put it out and you get nothing on it. You don't get the engagement, you don't get the likes, you don't get the views that you thought you were going to get. Or you spend zero time on a post and you get all these likes, all this engagement, all these views, and you're so confused on why. Even to me, I look at stuff and a lot of social media managers always say, look at people in your niche, look what they're doing, look at the views, look at their engagement, and maybe mimic some of their posts, but obviously make it your own. But stick with that same template. Even with CapCut nowadays, if you don't know what CapCut is, it's an app made by TikTok that has all these templates. They're trending TikToks that were made, and you kind of just insert your stuff in it. We already know it works. People have already posted with it before. And then you go ahead and do that and you post it and it gets nothing. So, I mean, you need to take the algorithm and the engagement rate and everything on social media with a grain of salt. What really matters is your business. You're putting yourself out there. It will all come within time. We talk about this week on Pro Series. I had my guest is Jeff McQueen here in Pittsburgh, design build company, and he talks about how he started his social media page for his company, and he didn't really see real results until a couple years later. And then we kind of talk about my story. I saw results within a couple weeks. It's a shot in the dark type of deal. Social media is such a hard tool to grow on, such a hard tool to get going on, especially when you're doing it by yourself. If you're not hiring out a company to help you out that is a professional in this, it is very hard to grow. But the one thing they always say is consistency, and I know I've said that a lot. But just keep posting because you really, really never know who that person is that's behind the screen that is watching. It could be a client, it could be a future employer. You never know who's actually watching and who it is actually making a difference in. There could be someone that is striving to be someone like you, someone that has a business who's putting themselves out there and they just don't have that courage to do that yet. And that might be that person that you are making a difference in. You might only have 5 followers on social media, but there might be that one of the 5 that you're making a difference in because they just don't have the courage yet to create their business and put themselves out there on social media. So you're already doing so much more than that other person, and you're making a difference in their life to build up the courage to do what you're doing right now. So don't get down on yourself when it comes to social media. It's a very, very hard game, and I think that's something I'm I said in before, I'm so glad I didn't completely grow up with social media. It really wasn't a thing until I didn't have it until ninth grade, and that was only Facebook. Didn't have Instagram until senior year, didn't have Twitter until junior year, and social media is not what it was, it is now. Back then, you posted a picture of your shoes, you posted a picture of your vacation. That's really it. That you didn't have the filters, you didn't care about likes, you didn't care about followers. And nowadays, I feel like I've seen these trends of people, like kids in high school, that if they don't get a certain amount of likes, they delete their photo because they didn't get enough likes or they didn't get enough comments because that's embarrassing to them. And that's insane that the world has come to that you are embarrassed about how many likes you have or how many followers you have or how many views you got on a video. That it's crazy how they feel like they're defined by the number that is on their social media. It's crazy. I mean, there's so many quotes about thinking about having a smaller circle is better than having a bigger circle. And it just it's so sad that we have to have our kids grow up like that. And it's not 100% social media's fault. I mean, I think everybody wants to blame social media, but I think it's just society's fault. I think we have ingrained in everybody that the higher the follower count, the better you are, or the more professional you are. If you have a blue check mark, you're a professional. We all know that nowadays. I mean, I'm very upfront that I pay for my blue check mark. Do that for security reasons. I was already um, hacked once. I didn't want to get hacked again. So that's the main reason why I got the notification that I was allowed to um, subscribe to get a blue check mark. And I did that because I wanted that security. Um, so it's just this very sticky, sticky world. And I know I've been in it, and I know anybody that is on social media has been in it or is running a social media for their business has been in it. I think we all think we see those numbers and it defines us, and you get down on it, and it just I wish somehow, some way we could just kind of hide it. If you know me, if you see my posts, I always hide the likes and I never go back in and look at my likes because I don't care about how many views or likes I get. Um, it might show in posts now because social media is becoming so hard to deal with and figure out. I feel like the algorithm is they're making it impossible to grow for someone that is like very minute compared to somebody that has thousands and thousands of followers, and I mean like almost a million followers. It's easier. um but if you go on social media nowadays, it's so easy to come by someone that has a million followers. You're like, usually back in the day, you see someone that has a couple million followers, they're just, they're a celebrity, they're an actor, they're a musician. And now you go on and it's just a TikTok dancer. Or I'm not downgrading a TikTok dancer because I can't do that and I never will be able to do that, but it's just a really warped world that we are living in now, that these people that are just everyday people that just put out content are becoming millions and millions of views and millions of followers, when there's people that doing businesses and making social media a lot of like their website. That's what they live off of for their business, and they're really struggling to grow. It's just a very warped world that we are living in right now with social media, and it's sad, but it's also sometimes good. I think I always try to see the good in it, and seeing all the networking and the connections that you get with social media. And that's something that keeps me going with social media. Forget about the numbers game that we are, just forget about that whole numbers game that we're living in social media, and think about all of the connections that you are making with other people, and make the best out of it, and just forget about how many followers you have, or how many likes you're getting, or how many views you're getting, because there is someone out there that is watching your content, that is liking your content, that is inspired by your content, and it's really getting them to get to the next level and build up the confidence so they could be in that next level of their life. Um, that's kind of what I wanted to talk about from my main topic. Again, this week's Pro Series episode is with Jeff McQueen. I had the honor to go to his showroom, and we shot the episode in person. So that's a cool in person episode. So if you are listening to this, make sure you watch this on YouTube or Spotify. I have some reels on social media, but go check that out this week. I think it will be coming out on Wednesday, but also follow my Pro Series account, and it will tell you when the episode comes out, and that is Pro Series Podcast on Instagram. Next up, let's talk about country music. We are getting to that point in the year where they're releasing so much good country music. It is so hard to pick just one person that had the song of the week. But first up, Megan Moroney's coming out with her sophomore album, Am I Okay? And she came out with another song off of it called Indifferent. She has been teasing all these singles, so it's been one of those things where you already hear the music before it comes out. I think we're living in that age right now that the song drops aren't as suspenseful, because we have TikTok. People are singing them at concerts and they're going on TikTok, so we're already hearing them. Like the Morgan Wallen and Post Malone song that's coming out finally this coming Friday. Post made a TikTok of this video months ago. I think it was like 2 months ago. And they're finally releasing it. And it's to the point where they just sang it on Stagecoach last week. Morgan Wallen brought Post out, and the whole crowd knew the whole entire chorus, because the chorus has been on TikTok as a sound for a couple months. And it's crazy how a song that hasn't been released yet, it's already resonating with the audience. The audience already knows all the words. It's just a crazy, crazy world that we're living in. Next up, Marshmello and Kane Brown came out with another song. They had a couple songs a couple years ago. This one is called Miles on It. Great summer song. It's going to be hard to top this one for summer. I think Morgan Wallen and um, Post Malone song could definitely be the number one song of the summer, but this Miles on It could be definitely one of them too. Miranda Lambert came out with a song that she's been teasing for weeks, called Wranglers. The tease was all of the fire in her music videos, back to Kerosene to Something Bad, all these music videos, and it was very suspenseful. It's something that we were really, really looking forward to, and then the song dropped, and I'm like, it was a letdown in my opinion. It wasn't what I was hoping for. Um, Maybe it will grow on me, but it wasn't that upbeat tempo or that upbeat Kerosene or Gunpowder and Lead type of song that she was kind of hinting towards in social media. So hopefully it will grow on me, but at the moment it's not. The I think this song kind of broke social media this week. Randy Travis, as you know, suffered from a stroke over 10 years ago, and we have missed new Randy Travis music, and somehow, some way, we got something. And this week, he posted a couple videos of him kind of pressing the play button in the background vocals, and as a teaser. And then he had a couple country artists like Cody Johnson reacting to listening to the song with his mind just being blown. And then Josh Turner and his wife also doing it, and Josh Turner's wife actually crying. So after those videos, you really were anticipating something that was incredible. You're like, first off, how is he singing this? Later on, I think this week that Whiskey Riff actually broke that the producers did come out and say AI was created with this song because Randy Travis can't physically sing anymore because of the stroke. But the song's called Where That Came From, and it's a great song. It is the first time I played it, you definitely get the chills because of the whole situation that he is in. It really does sound like he sang it from back in the day. It is a great song. I hope it gets to number one. Randy Travis is an artist that I've talked about in this podcast before, but he has such a great um, group of music. And I just can't say much about this. I can't say enough about this song. Where that came from, go check that out. Next up, Keith Urban, Lainey Wilson. Again, a lot of teas on social media, and it happened like months and months ago. You know, Keith picked up Lainey in a Hummer, and we didn't really know a lot of what the context of why they posted that. Now it makes sense. They came out with a song called Go Home With You. It's a great summer song again. It's a good sing along song. I love that. I think that's the whole theme of this week is a bunch of sing along songs. So I think that's definitely going to be number one if he releases it as a single. Next up, Russell Dickerson came out with a song called Good Day to Have a Great Day. This is on the vibes of the Brett Eldredge song a couple years ago. It's going to be a good day. Just a good feel good song. Go check that one. It's going to be a sing along song. Great summer song. I'm a huge fan of Russell Dickerson. He hasn't had a huge hit in a little bit, so I'm glad that this came out, and hopefully this is the next one. Tracy Lawrence came out with Out Here in It. It's an EP. I don't know if it's actually out yet, but his song Pretty Dang Good is pretty dang good. Um, but it seriously, it is a good song. I think he's on tour with Riley Green right now, which is crazy. And I think Riley has kind of had a full circle moment with that. And I've seen interviews with him talking about that and how crazy that is to be, you know, a newer artist and having Tracy Lawrence, a artist that he has always looked up to and has had the success that Tracy Lawrence has had as an opener, which is pretty cool. Rodney Atkins came out with an acoustic version of Farmer's Daughter that came out years and years ago. Great song. It was a number one, but it was kind of a cool throwback. Rodney Atkins is a great artist, and this song is a great song. So go ahead, check that out. Good 2000s vibe right there. Last up is Logan Crosby, who we've spoke about many times on this podcast. I'm a fan of his. He was on a show on ABC. Totally forget the name of it, but it was basically stars, siblings, or cousins, or whatever. He is the cousin of Jason Aldean. He has becoming a country singer in the past couple of years, and he's released some great music. It's just nothing has really hit off. He came out with a new song called 2019. He's big on social media, so a lot of his songs you'll probably hear on social media. But go check him out. He has a lot of great songs. But that's all we have this week for new country music. But into the top five of the Mediabase chart. Number five, Bailey Zimmerman with Where It Ends. Number four, Jordan Davis, Tuscan Too Late. Number three, Tyler Hubbard with Back Then Right Now. Number two, which was number one last week, Sam Hunt, Outskirts. And the new number one song of the week is Scotty McCreery, Cabin a Solo. That's all we have this week. I definitely want you to go and follow me on social media at Eric Dillman Designs. And just remember, there are people out there that relate to you. So keep posting, keep going. Stop looking at the likes, stop looking at the views, stop looking at the numbers. We really worry so much about if people are going to like us or like the post. But don't forget, people don't always like posts. It's just not their thing. They don't always comment on posts. So just keep putting stuff out there, even if you're getting nothing on them. Um, just stay consistent, and the right eyes will always be watching. Awesome. Well, great. Have a great rest of the week. Pro Series episode coming out this week and in person. So make sure you watch it on Spotify or YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. and I hope you have a good rest of the week.